Kato Kaelin, actor, witness for O.J. Simpson trial 1994-95, and he joins us now 20 years ago today. Kato, how are you?
Dan, I'm fantastic. Thanks for having me on your show. Of course, I'm a fan.
20 years ago.
It's amazing.
What were you doing 20 years ago before your life changed?
20 years ago, I was actually running a casting business with another actor where we casted day parts. And so my hours where I'd be on these sets for films where I'd have like maybe 45 extras and I have to be there and sort of wrangle them. And then my buddy and I, Grant Kramer, who was an actor at the time in General Hospital, we would cast ourselves in day roles. We kept up our SAG insurance.
Then your life changed.
Overnight, yeah. I don't know if you're familiar. I wrote this op-ed article. And in the article, I just said, I was just a wannabe actor from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The next thing you know, I'm a celebrity, a pariah, a freeloader. I'm labeled everything from a dummy to an assassin's target. So it was amazing just to be how powerful the media really is. It's like one day I'm in a courtroom, the next thing everybody knows who you are, and you're a public figure, and everything about you comes out.
Was there anything that was good that came out?
Well, I've always lived by this thing when we think about you cannot do anything at all about the past. It's sort of like, okay, the past happened. I can only do stuff now to make things better for the future, and it's sort of like the opportunity everybody's given. It's like you can't change your past. You got to go for what the future is. And God, I lived back then for pay it forward. I still live today to make things better for everybody today, and for myself, of course.
Did O.J. talk to you? Did he ask you to cover up for him?
No. I'll tell you, there's one thing that I kind of sticks out in my mind, and it was brought up, is he tried to make me say that I knew he was in the kitchen with me after the McDonald's and all that, and that was the complete opposite. I never saw him again. So that's when I started going, why is he trying to make me say something that I know isn't true? And that just made me kind of wonder in my head. I go, he wants me to, in his opinion, he wanted me to lie for him. And then I said, no, he never left the car door after the McDonald's ride. I walked towards his house and said, I guess we'll just eat in here. He already wolfed down his quarter pounder. And I knew by his look, it's like I was inviting myself into his main house. So I went back to the guest house, and that was it.
So that's
never saw him again.
About an hour before the murders.
Yeah, it was the timeline of what it was. I think it was about an hour, yeah.
But was there any tip-off of him being agitated or on drugs or,
Nothing at all. Nothing. Just very, very quiet. And I kept feeling, you're thinking 20 years ago, I'm sitting in the car with O.J. Simpson. I can't wait to call, buddy's going, hey, I just had a dinner with O.J. You're doing the whole thing. You don't know the what's going to happen. So I was kind of quiet. He didn't want to talk, so I wasn't talking really in the car. I didn't know at all we're going to McDonald's. I just said I invited myself to eat because I used to run and play basketball. Hours and not eating, so I invited myself.
What do you think he used you as an alibi? Looking back,
in hindsight, I think it's. I constantly think about how me inviting, if I was, if I ruined this entire timeline for him, because I'm sure in his head he was not supposed to have me come to this McDonald's with him. I don't know. I invited myself. Hindsight, who knows? But as far as you asked me if the alibi, I don't know. I just know that I never saw him, and I didn't know why he was trying to invite. I was inviting myself to eat in his house, and it was still in his car, which is about 25 yards away, and I knew that, geez, Kato, he doesn't want to hang out with you. So it's like, who doesn't hang out with Kato? That was it.
Kato Kaelin joining us, Dan Patrick's show. What have you never been asked?
Yeah, it's a great question. Dan, this was the most investigated case ever in the history of L.A., any kind of crime. I was with detectives. I was with the police. I was with everybody for so many hours, and I don't think there's anything they didn't ask me. One thing that stands out, and Mark Furman and Vanetta and Lang, my car at the time was a 280Z, a 300ZX, right? Kind of beat up, and I have a mannequin's head in my car, and they joked about. They never asked me about that, and I was thinking I only use it for the carpool lanes in L.A. And so they never asked me why I had that in my car. Dan, are you there?
Yeah. Yep. I'm there. Yep. Last time you spoke to OJ.
I wasn't really speaking to him. It was during the deposition of the civil trial. And during the civil trial, I've never been in a deposition before. You sit there for hours, and they pump you with coffee and water, so I had to pee. And he happened to be in the bathroom at the same time. And he just said, "Hey, Kato." And I said, "Hey." That was it.
How awkward.
It was very, very, very awkward bathroom moment.
Did you think differently of him by then?
Yeah, pretty much so. I already knew the all the evidence that came out, and my opinion was for a while that he's a guilty person.
No correspondence in prison from OJ?
Oh, with me?
Yeah.
No. You know, there's no correspondence with anybody during the trial at this time. It's sort of like that is over, and there's nothing that can be positive about it. Let everybody kind of grow on their own. I know I mentioned I just did the Today Show with the Goldman family, who are fantastic, and I can't compare losing a brother for Kim, a son to Fred. I can only know that my sister lost her son in the Iraq War, so I can kind of relate. You cannot feel what the parent is feeling, but I can see it through my sister losing a nephew, a 22-year-old, and you can't compare that. You've got to go through grief, and grief is part of growth. And every day they've got to be thinking about that. My sister and of course the Goldman, they cannot not think in the Brown family of losing their daughter.
Do you wish you'd never been involved in any of this? That
Completely.
Nobody knew who you were?
Yeah, like I said, Dan, you cannot answer things like in the past. I can't answer it. I just know that, like for yourself or anybody, you are all getting some kind of blueprint in your life or cards you're dealt with, and that was this is like Kato at your hand, fold or play.
Do you think OJ had an accomplice?
Again, say it.
Do you think OJ had an accomplice?
Do I know? I don't think so because, like I said, it's the most investigated case ever, and the detectives they're smart people, and if something like that happened, it would have come out now within 20 years.
When you can see Robert Kardashian's look, he's the only one who realizes that a murder just got away with murder. That the look on his face is like, "Are you kidding me?" What was your reaction?
I agree with you. It's sort of like him. And not to try to put comedy in that. It was if you're going to put in a Jerry Lewis movie in it, that's the spit take. It just looks like he's ready to spit up water.
What was your reaction?
I was sitting actually with Barbara Walters, and I said, I think they made a big mistake, the jury.
Oh, they made a big mistake, yeah. But,
yeah,
I mean, Johnny,
another thing, Dan, the detectives told me is, I don't know, I'm sequestered. I don't know everything that's going on, and I'm sitting with these guys. And, after quite a few hours, I feel like they kind of get who I am, like, it's Kato. And so they just said, Kato, there's so much evidence that this is like a 2-minute Columbo episode. So that kind of always stuck out of my mind. And I got so many people in L.A. 20 years later, and people all over that I don't know why. They just want to come and tell me their theory. It's like, why do they want to be connected to something? I just think it's because we're inundated with so many crime shows, and it's all because of the OJ trial. Well, all the CSI shows.
Yeah, we're used to something being wrapped up in an hour. And this has been 20 years, and people still think, well, Kato knows something, and he's covering up. I when I told people you were going to be on, yeah, he knows, but and I'm thinking, every time I've talked to him, it's the same. You give the same answers, so and I think you said this. Correct me if I'm wrong. When we got up there on the witness stand, your job is to tell the truth, not what you think happened, but what happened.
100%. I write that. I said, I can only tell you, I tell 100% the truth. I tell what I think happened. I can't give people my thoughts of this is what I thought happened. It's the facts, and that's what I did 100%. I can't tell. Well, this is what I thought happened. And then if anybody, if anybody's a witness, they should have a course, Witness 101, because I'm telling you, you've got to. Every lawyer tells you just answer what they ask you.
What do you?
You can't do a soliloquy to people. You just answer the questions, but 100% honest, Dan.
What are you doing now?
Things are pretty good. I was telling one of your producers, Paulie. Big fan.
Yep.
I'm heading up this week to do a film with the Coppola family, Christopher Coppola. So I'm directing him, and you're a big star in every Sandler film.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'm in every Sandler film.
Yeah, hello, I know. I got the collection.
I'm not.
I just forward to your parts.
Yeah.
Say, my God, Patrick is ad-libbing again. That's not the script.
Oh.
So I head up there and I do a show here in L.A. with a company called Filmon, and it's a Filmon presents Kato Kaelin. It's big in the U.K. Hey, does your show go to the U.K.?
Yeah, we actually go global. I'm big in Wales. I can't walk down the street in Wales.
Yeah. No, I think I might be a little bigger, but I am big in Leeds. Leeds and London.
We'll be out in L.A. Soon. Maybe, is it safe for us to go out with you in public?
It's great.
Oh, it is?
Yes, seriously. My treat you buy. I mean it.
Thank you, Kato.
Dan, we're going golfing.
Yeah, and we'll get Norm Macdonald again.
Norm Macdonald and my caddy was that billionaire guy, Will Stump. I don't remember that. But
No.
He had an absolute ball.
No, I like that. Yeah, I'll take you up on that.
Okay, great. And thanks for having me on your show. And I am a huge fan.
Thank you, Kato. He's Kato Kaelin.